Up to the moment diagnostic report. Tuesday 1, 25 of August, 2021. How can we be certain that this actually be the abomination desolation? Well, it just so happens that in the by now way famous and irrefutable pages of the Protocols of the Elders of Zion, it can be found in the beginning of the 15th Act that it says, when we start to reign with the help of coups d'etats, prepared for all parts all on the same day, after the definitive confessions of the nullity of all existing governments, it will probably take a century before this takes place, we will make sure that there be no plots against us. The fact that these words be more than 120 years old and still haven't been fulfilled alone should give we an indication that something's up. But if we investigate further, we'll find out that the plot goes way back to 929 before Christ in the notes published in the back of the book and reproduced here. According to secret annals of the Jewish Zionism, Solomon and other wise Israelites elaborated from the year 929 before Christ the project of a system that should lead them to the conquest of the entire universe for Zion by peaceful procedures. None of this comes as a surprise if we look at 2 Chronicles 9:13, and we'll see that our boy Solomon had a 666 fixation, as well as being well schooled in the magic arts. So that we focus on the word abomination, we want to better understand about the desolation part. The definitions and prohibitions pertaining to it can be found in chapter 18 of Leviticus. Please read the entire chapter. Knowing the 20th paragraph of the 10th Act of the Protocols, then, squares right away with what we be illustrating and be practically shouting Coven by name. Here it be. When we introduce in the organism of state the poison of liberalism, its entire political constitution changes. All states have fallen ill with a fatal disease. Their blood is infected. We can only wait for the end of its agony. Because meantime, it be no secret that there be an entire empire of vices made into industries and businesses dedicated to precisely all the smutty and sick things them prohibited in Leviticus 18, and thereby confirming the irrefutability of these protocols. So quite actually, the flag went up, giving the warning signal in the form of the third gender restrooms more than 10 years ago. This should have served as a barometer or an indicator that the level of morality was severely out of whack and lacking in society where the vice and perversion be the norm, and at the same time virtues be so scarce for lack of rentability, comparatively speaking. So obviously, it was time to activate that which be written in Act 10, paragraph 20, and here we be up to this COVID moment. And if you don't like it, then read what the protocols say about Act 9, paragraph 5, and here it be. We are the source of terror that is spread everywhere. So meantime, since way before the whole world's been terrorized by this COVID campaign, we of Hefzibah-Beulah have been teaching the importance of maintaining the integrity of the Abrahamic covenant with works and not just pretty words nor neckties. Interestingly, the exact same importance be verified at the very end of this other extract taken from notes in the foreword of the protocols and reproduced here. The Israelites should aspire to hold office in the legislature in order to repeal the laws made by the Goyim, unfaithful sinners against the children of Israel, true faithful by their invariable compliance with the holy laws of Abraham. This also can be confirmed by looking at our contingency program on the second page in the third paragraph, where it says, such as this crisis be undeniably of a sanitary nature, we see it as imperative the implementation of a hygienic program such as be the free circumcision, not obligatory, that includes a program of workers' compensation benefits such as an economic bonus during the recuperation period to give help to the heads of families, meantime, that be unable to work, and that all this should be given without snags nor glitches. Example is, with your ID or without any documentation at all, the only requisitions being those of having a foreskin and the desire to get rid of it. and the implementation of the RX program for recycling from the Hefzibah-Beulah manifest. Do click on QR. It's with the objectives of contributing to the diminishment of the propagation of COVID-19 and to minimize the risks of affecting the health of the persons and ambient that we plant this plan of segregation of the management of solid waste. And quite honestly, this be only our most recent gesture in what's been a more than 36-year campaign or ministry. The word evangelo also be appropriate, meaning good news. So it comes as no surprise that when we read the Protocols, Act 5, paragraph 19, it practically calls we by name. See for yourselves. There is nothing more dangerous than a personal initiative, because if it were the product of a great mind, it could do us much more harm than all the millions of individuals that we have thrown against each other. So by already knowing that which be written in Act 9, paragraph 5, simply due to the facts of life, from way before reading this book, then it comes as no surprise that which be written in Revelations chapter 11, 7 through 13. But before they finally punch our tickets and guarantee our positions on board the mother ship, we still have a heap of things to do. Thus, comprehending Revelations chapter 6 be imperative to the rescue mission. We be the horsemen of the white horse, which also be mentioned with a different description and point of view in the Book of Mormon in 2 Nephi chapter 3, verses 5 through 21, where also the Abrahamic covenant be verified. So after reading about we there, and in Revelations chapter 6 too, keep on reading and check out the rest of those horses them. See if any of them seems appealing. Meantime, by reading these verses and excerpts presented, both those from the scriptures as well as from the protocols, hopefully by meditating and comprehending their individual significances, we'll be better able to understand the overall significance of these things, and consequently be able to comprehend that it not be theories nor conspiranoias of which we speak, but rather carefully planned and executed strategies that have existed for over thousands of years and be finally coming to a head at this very moment in history. So the diagnosis be that when the queers get their rights, the normals lose ours. This be manifest, as we said in our last podcast, as we know that we not be speaking on behalf of everybody, but probably safely 80% or more, when we say, knowing that Mosaic law has its origin from when the last time this Nibiru phenomenon occurred, it would be a real capital idea to emplace it already before they shows up and we's in some real deep shit for being out of line. The part that's so way out be that all through the protocols, it brags how they're going to take over someday soon and impose their law over everyone. But if everyone knew their history as well as we do, the entire world, including the atheists, should be clamoring for the impeachment of the emplacement of Mosaic law. So as always, the responsible thing to do would be copy and share these cards and place Mosaic law.